Good morning. My name is Barbara Schindo, and I am here with the pediatric trauma prevention prevention
coordinators.
Coordinators. This is Shannon DePatto and Emmy Sasala, and we are here to talk about Child Passenger Safety Awareness Week, which is this week. So tell us, let's start by saying, why is it important to have a week for awareness about this?
Yeah, so it's very important to make sure we have a week about child passenger safety. Unfortunately, we are seeing crashes on a daily basis with very traumatic injuries. It is the second leading cause of death for children between the ages of 1 and 13. And on a national average, we see about 60% of car seats that are installed incorrectly. I mean, that's a big national average. So we're seeing a lot of misuse. And so we really want to bring awareness to this because we're seeing so many injuries that could be prevented in the event of a crash.
Okay, and we are on the campus of the Penn State Health Milton S. Hershey Medical Center right now, and we have back here a couple car seats and some demonstrations here so that you can show us the proper car seats for the right ages here. And if anybody watching, whether you're watching live or if you're watching on playback, if you have any questions, post them in the comment field and we will get an answer for you as soon as we can. But for now, I'll hand this to you so you can talk us through these.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Barbara. So first off, we have right here what we call an infant seat. This is a rear-facing only car seat. So we do need to have the child facing the rear of the vehicle. And we want to make sure they're installed or in the seat properly, if you will. So just taking a look here at the harness system, we want to make sure that that child is in there nice and snug. If those harnesses can be pinched together at the shoulders, like Emmy's doing right now, it is way too loose. So you may think you have it tight enough, but you may need to pull it a little bit tighter. So we want to make sure we pull that adjustment strap in between their legs there to make sure that harness is nice and snug on their bodies. Also, we have to make sure that that harness clip sits right at the armpit level. Okay, so it's covering the chest bone. Again, keeps that harnesses in a proper position on their shoulders, but also provides a form of protection in the event of a crash. And then, of course, buckled in between their legs. Like I mentioned, this seat that we are showing right now is just rear facing only. You cannot turn this seat forward facing. It must only stay rear facing. And we do want a child staying rear facing till at least the age of 2. The law in Pennsylvania is 2 years of age to stay rear facing, although we want you to go even farther than that because children are still developing. They still are developing that muscle. And in the event of a crash, they may not be able to suffer or sustain any kind of force. So we want them to stay rear facing as long as possible. Next, we have a seat that can be utilized rear facing as well as forward facing depending on the child's weight and height limits. So again, harnessing is still the same. We want that to be nice and snug against their bodies. We do not want you to be able to pinch that harness fabric together. We want that harness clip to sit right at their armpit level. So again, it provides good placement of harnessing, but also more protection in the event of a crash, and of course buckled in between their legs. This seat can go forward facing. And again, we want them to stay in a harness system as long as possible. Most car seats now have a weight limit of at least 50 to 65 pounds with the use of a harness. Again, so much safer in the event of a crash. Is really going to keep that child in that car seat and not have any kind of severe injury. And lastly, on the end there, we do have a booster seat. We typically recommend a child to be at least 4 years of age and 40 pounds to be in a booster seat. Those are minimum recommendations, although we want them, again, to stay in that harness as long as possible. The law in Pennsylvania for booster seat is till the age of 8. It does seem like a long time, but again, these children are very susceptible to injury in the event of a crash, so we need to protect them. The booster seat does not have a harness system. They will be using a seat belt just like you and I would in the vehicle. So the seat belt will come across the front of them there, right at the collarbone across the shoulder. The lap portion of the belt will come across the pelvic or upper thigh area. Again, it's hitting bony parts of their bodies, which will provide the utmost protection in the event of a crash. The biggest thing with a booster seat, now that they're using a seat belt, we don't want them putting that seat belt behind them. That is a huge misuse. It might be uncomfortable for them. There are often with boosters, you're going to see a seatbelt guide there on the side. That's where your shoulder belt can go through. So we want that belt going through there so it lays properly across the front of the child, doesn't cut them at the neck so they don't put it behind them. That's the biggest thing, because in the event of a crash, not having that seatbelt there, they can be ejected very easily from the vehicle. Great. So I think we're going to take this one here in the middle and we'll show you quickly how to install in the vehicle to make sure we give you a few safety tips for installing properly. This one we're going to put in the vehicle forward facing. And we're just going to utilize the seat belts. Hold that. So we utilize the seat belt here. So again, tightness, just like we made the child tight with the car seat, we're making the seat tight with the vehicle. So we're going to feed our seat belt through the back of the car seat here that's forward facing. Buckle in on the other side. We're then going to pull our seatbelt out the whole way so it locks. Okay? Let all that slack go back in. We will apply pressure because we do not want this car seat moving any more than an inch side to side. So nice and tight, let that seatbelt go back in when it's locked, and we have the ability to not hardly move it at all, so it's nice and snug. The other thing we need to make sure happens is that we utilize what's called a top tether. This tether comes out the back of the car seat. You will attach it to an anchor within the vehicle that's behind the vehicle seat. That purpose is to make sure this seat doesn't move forward in the event of a crash. So making sure you use that top tether is very crucial to lessen that head injury in the event of a crash. Good.
Okay, thank you so much for demonstrating that. That is a lot of useful information. Now, I just want to make sure we mention, too, for any folks who might have any questions or who might want to get a car seat checked, you have an event coming up on Friday, correct?
Yes, we do actually have a special event coming up this Friday. It's going to be at the Target in Mechanicsburg on the Carlisle Pike from 12 until 2 p.m. Families can come. It's a free service. We will have certified child passenger safety technicians on hand to make sure that you're installing your seat properly and your kiddos are safe in your vehicle. So again, it's open to the public on Friday, and anyone can come to that event.
Okay, great. Is there anything you guys would like to add here before we wrap up?
I think the biggest thing is taking that extra time, this extra few minutes to make sure your child is restrained properly. You know, we see so many of these injuries that could be prevented because you're not taking that time to make sure they're installed properly. So either have it checked by a certified technician, just read the manual that comes with the car seat. That's huge. Some people just think, well, I can figure this out. Read the manual. There's so many specifics to these seats. And really just making sure that they're installed properly is really important.
Okay, great. And again, anybody who's looking for any help to get their car seat installed or just wants to get it checked, come see these guys on Friday at the Target on the Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg. And we're going to post that information about that event in the comments section. And we also are going to post a little more information about navigating car seat guidelines. So thanks so much for joining us. And if you have any questions, post them in the comment field and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.